You just know traditional intros played out. All you need to know is I'm Ahnesti and you're not here for no reason. I feel cockeyed and all right, let's get into it. Oh, was I cockeyed for real? All right, y'all, I promise you I'm not off my rocker. I'm just really passionate about this topic and I want to deliver it the best way that I can. This concept is something that has really changed my life. Like, it's changed the way that I think, the way I speak, the way I treat others, but most importantly, the way that I treat myself. And this is the power of isolation. So before we really get into what that is, what that could look like for you, how to get through it, and what the benefits of it are, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and love you. Okay, let's get into it. So the season of isolation is oftentimes referred to as where we feel completely detached from things that we're accustomed to or things we're familiar with. If you want to take it a step further and relate it to, like, I guess a more spiritual sense, it would be detaching from the things that we're familiar with to grow in the kingdom, or to grow closer to God, or to allow God to mold you. Just growth in general. This concept is all about growth. We are in a day and age where mental health is prioritized. Even in the Black community, we're able to speak about it. When we talk about it, we are talking about healing, like healing this, healing that, you know, conquering generational trauma or generational curses, healing from past traumas, past relationships. Like, this is a really big deal right now. And I feel that we are all in a season going into the new year wanting to be the best version of ourselves. So why not start like right now? I'm talking to you. You've been putting it off because you're scared of it. Now it's not the time. The world is on fire. You're not guaranteed tomorrow, so get right today. Got it? Fist bump. All right, let's do it. So those are all good reasons to isolate. Those are all good reasons to want to heal. For me, I was tired of not knowing who I was. I was looking around and I had seen all of, like, I'm not going to say the consequences of my actions, but the fruits of my decisions. And I'm like, how did it get so bad so quickly? Where did I go wrong? All I ever did was what I knew. How did we get here? I didn't love myself. I didn't trust myself. I struggled with making my own decisions. And if I did make my own decision, I couldn't stand on it. I wasn't confident that things would go well for me if they were my own thoughts. And that's no way to live, because especially as a parent, you're pouring into a child, but you don't trust yourself. Be so for real. Anywho, that might not be your case. You might love yourself, trust yourself, but like I said, if you're healing, I highly suggest going through a season of isolation. Gosh, where were we at? I just told you guys why I chose to isolate. What are you isolating from? So for me, isolating wasn't so much of trying to get away from others, but it was really to focus on myself. I had felt there were so many things wrong, and at this point, only God could help me. So I took a step back. I was angry, I was sad, I was feeling all these feelings and didn't know how to explain it, which is what began my isolation. It's like, you don't know what to say, don't say it at all. I'm not going to say that I'm proud of how I went about it, because I did leave a lot of people kind of in the dust wondering about me, worried about me, people who did love me, and that wasn't fair. So I will say, when you begin your journey, know your why. Because if you don't, you're going to take time away from people that you love. You can't get that time back. And then to have what on the outside of it? An extended vacation? Okay, that's what I thought. What are you isolating from? It could be thoughts, beliefs, opinions, families, friends, social media. Because yes, it is that damn phone. Gotcha. It is your phone. It is your phone. We no longer live in real life. We can do. That's why even the engagement on these videos, baby, I clocked y'all's tea. We're so used to 45-second answers and 30-second tutorials that y'all won't sit for the real word. Hey, gotcha. We do need to take time away from these things, because whether we want to admit it or not, we are influenced every day. It doesn't have to be TikTok shop, buy this, buy that, buy that. You see somebody's lifestyle and you see that it works for them, so you try it too and then wonder why it's not working for you. Let's talk about it. I did write a note. I feel like a good time to isolate is when you are figuring that certain things are no longer working for you, maybe because they were never meant for you, or you have seen certain things work for others that never worked for you. You've been following this imaginary blueprint that was never destined for you. So I began to seek God. I began to try to answer my own questions, and it was like, why was this thought of isolation so scary to me? Why couldn't I fathom the thought of being alone? Because I didn't love myself. I didn't trust myself. I wasn't secure in my own mind. And to think that I would only be able to rely on myself for answers, for comfort, for advice, it was scary. Because I don't even know who I am. Who is this stranger that I'm confiding in? This stranger being myself. Like, oh gosh, I wish you guys were there. And I feel that I'm talking to somebody. I don't know who it is. But baby, listen. The thought of denying myself access to those who could take me out of a sunken place, terrible. It's like my mom, for example. I'm calling her for everything. I'm texting her for everything. There were very few decisions that I made on my own without consulting with my mom first. It got to a point my decisions weren't mine. My feelings weren't mine. I would quite literally call my mom so she can come up with the feeling for me so I can make it make sense. That's no way to live. Especially as a parent, that is no way to live. So enough of our why. It's like, okay, what's next? Forget everything you know. Forget everything you know, everything you've been told, everything you've been taught, because obviously, you know, it may have gotten you somewhere. I'm not saying everything you've learned is wrong. Everything you've been taught is wrong. I'm just saying that it might not be in alignment with your will, and you need to try again. You need to try again. Come up with your own. And that coming up with your own is something to be proud of, but I'll get into that in a minute. What's next? You forget everything you know. Start over, fresh start, brand new. Exercise your free will and get to it. Now, what does that look like? For me, a good starting point, I guess I'll get into where to start. Prayer. Prayer. There were so many times I wanted to pick up that phone, call my mama, call the girlfriends, call whoever I confided in and inspired to be like for answers, to figure out what to do. And that would be the one day that my homegirl didn't answer. She always answered on the first ring. Why didn't she answer? Because she wasn't supposed to. Because this was never something that I was supposed to take to her. I was supposed to take it to Christ first. I'm not going to sit here and say that everything I've taken to Christ, in hearing what he had to say back, I followed it. Guilty. He said, stay up off that man. What I do? Got right back on him. I'm so ashamed. Anywho, prayer. The power of prayer. That's self-explanatory. I don't feel the need to dive too much into that. Journaling, baby. I gotta do a separate video on that. Journaling, next to the power of isolation and just all these other concepts and practices, journaling is by far my favorite one. I've been journaling since the end of August last year till now, on and off really. When I was feeling low, when I was confused, when I had doubt, I put it on paper. I put it on paper, and it made me realize it's one thing to lie to yourself up here. It's easy. It's quick. It's a thought. We have a billion thoughts a minute. It's like lie, gone. Lie, gone. But when you, where my pen at? Take this pen. Yada, yada, yada. Lie. BS. Lie again. You look at it and you begin to feel silly. Yeah. So it's like at that point you might as well get up, go to the bathroom, turn the light on, look in the mirror, and laugh. Lying to yourself. For what? It's not productive. I feel that putting all that I put on paper and being just totally transparent is what allowed me to track my growth. And even in the time of isolation, it's like I'm thinking nothing has changed. I'm thinking I'm doing all this for nothing. Let me call my mama. Let me call my mom. Let me forget all that, taking it up there first. I'm going to do what I want. No. Them journals showed me that even in 2 days I could be a different person. Showed me that even in three days I could be a different person. In 1 week, how much can change. That's why I tracked everything, and I look back, and that journal is what gave me, I'm not gonna say gave me faith. It encouraged me to keep going. Because it's like, dang, I just seen where I was at last week. You know, I really can't say too much on that. Just know journaling, we're gonna get into that another time. Paying attention to everything around you in this time of isolation, very important. Like I said, you call your homegirl, she normally answers on the first ring and she don't. What is that? You call again, she still don't answer. Take it as a sign. Take it as a sign. I feel in the time that I was able to humble myself before God, he didn't ask too much more of me. He just asked me to spend time with him, and he did the rest, truly. He really did the rest in the way that it was like, look, you're not hearing me, but I'm gonna be a little louder for you. Listen, hang the phone up, talk to me. Pay attention to everything around you. There's no such thing as random, coincidence, accident, nothing. Everything is in alignment if you allow it to be, especially when you're being intentional about it. So don't let certain moments pass by. Read into everything. What else? Prioritizing self-care. I feel, I wrote that, and I wrote explore new hobbies. I feel like they go hand in hand. You got a lot going on up here at the moment. Make sure you got a lot going on the outside too, because it might not sting so bad. I started trying to find new ways to make money. I started taking my vitamins every day. I started prioritizing my gut health. I did a whole lot of things while I was alone, because it's like, hey, now all I got is me. I'm looking at what I see. I don't necessarily like it. I'm gonna change it. Self-care. I hate the way that social media makes self-care look like the pampering. It make it look like you gotta have money to care for yourself, and that's not true. That's not true. Just drink you a little water with some lemon first thing in the morning. Self-care. Oh gosh, what else helped me get through this time of isolation? Remembering that every day is a new day. That was such a beautiful thing when I was isolated, because it was like, wow, you know, I'm not talking to friends as much. I'm not talking to family. I'm keeping things between me and God. I forgot to make that note. Very important. Keep things between you and God. Hear him. And remember that every day is a new day. I have a chance. Yesterday was hard, but I'm going to be intentional about making today a little easier. Yesterday I cried this amount. I'm still going to shed a tear or two, but it's not going to last so long. It's not going to hurt so long. Every day is a new day. The thought of the Lord waking me up, or even waking up and going, wow, okay, that means I got things to do. That means I haven't fulfilled all that's in his will. I got time to, at least today. He didn't take me out yet. I feel that it sounds really basic. It really does. I know it does. I'm so grateful that y'all bear with me, but these are very powerful things, though they're so small, whether it's the journaling, exploring new hobbies, prayer, all things that you may have heard of. I'm letting you know right now that these simple practices actually changed my entire life, which is why I'm about to get into the benefits. Like, having to figure things out on my own constantly, over and over and over again. Well, not on my own, you know what I mean? Me and the big one. Soon I was able to trust myself. I was able to, you know, be more comfortable in making my own decisions. Right or wrong, it's like that decision was mine. So I was very happy about that. I got closer to God. I became a better person. I became more gracious. That is a big one, because it's like there was so much grace and mercy extended to me in my rough times. It's like, who am I to not extend that same grace and mercy? That person didn't know what they were doing. That person isn't who they used to be. That person, you know, it was time for me to grow up and put all my feelings to the side and realize we are all living this first time experience on earth, and there will never be another time like it. Truly. I recognized my strength, and I felt like my adversity had made me more resilient. But like I said, this time of isolation, beautiful things are happening. Beautiful people are being brought to me. And someone told me that my resilience isn't what made me strong. I've been that. I've been that. I just had to tap into it. We are beautifully and wonderfully made. Gosh, You may not see it, you may not feel it, but you are strong. You are where you need to be. My camera's about to die and I refuse to do another take. God help me. I really, 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 really pray that I got through to somebody. Y'all heard something, y'all felt something. Please comment with questions, comments, concerns, anything. I want to hear your stories. I'm appreciative for the billion subscribers I just got, and we are in this thing, baby. Hoorah. Love you lots. Praying for you every day. God bless.